I wish I had straight hair.
Blonde hair would be nice.
I would love to have freckles. They can make people just look really cute.
The media has always had an obsession with physical appearance. It idolised thin, size zero models, even though this only accounted for 5% of the population. The impact this has had on young girls is catastrophic. When asked if seeing thin models made them want to lose weight, 47% of girls in 5th to 12th grade said yes. When asked if magazine pictures influenced their idea of the perfect body, 69% of girls said yes. Dove commissioned a global report prepared by Dr. Nancy Epcoff from Harvard University and Obaj, author of Fat is a Feminist Issue. The study, involving more than 3,000 women from 10 different countries, was conducted to learn about women's priorities and interests. The study reported what the company suspected. Only 2% of women worldwide consider themselves beautiful. Dove teamed up with Ogilvy and Mathers to try and find a way to create advertising that challenges conventional stereotypes of beauty in order to show women that they're all beautiful in their own way. They named the campaign the Real Beauty Campaign.
Dove's Real Beauty campaign was launched in 2004. The success of the campaign has been huge, and it can be said that they have had huge success in what they set out to do. Dove's mission statement is, at Dove, we have a vision of a world where beauty is a source of confidence, not anxiety. Our mission is to ensure the next generation grows up enjoying a positive relationship with the way that they look, helping girls raise their self-esteem and realise their full potential. They've kept to this entirely throughout the years that the campaign has been going. It's been consistently trying to change perceptions through a range of advertising campaigns. So here at Dove, we found this very alarming. We wanted to create a body confidence campaign with real women who went against the media ideals.
Although Dove has a history of using real women in its advertising, instead of professional models or actors, the agency decided to make a bolder statement about real women and beauty than it ever has done in the past. In their campaign, the brand did not use actors or models, but instead normal women. In comparison to usual beauty campaigns, Dove chose not to use Photoshop or any editing in its pictures to show what real women look like. So this is an example between two different beauty campaigns. The first one, as you can see, is Victoria's Secret campaigns, and the second one is the Dove Real Beauty campaign. So as you can see, the Victoria's Secret campaign uses real models. They're very skinny, exactly what the media expects them to be. However, Dove's Real campaign shows real women.
2004 saw the launch of the Real Beauty campaign. The campaign centred around numerous billboard advertisements. The advertisements asked viewers to judge the women's looks, for example, fat or fab, or wrinkled and wonderful, and cast their votes online at forrealbeauty.com.
The idea was to, in hope, create a new definition of beauty. The campaign immediately received positive media coverage from magazines, publications, and many popular talk shows across the globe, which Unilever has estimated generated media exposure worth more than 30 times the media space. Due to the accumulated success of the launch, in 2005, Dove released the second campaign, advertising 6 women with real curves and real body. The campaign was introduced to reduce the stereotype that only thin women were beautiful. This caused thousands of women across the globe to discuss beauty issues on campaignforrealbeauty.com, which raised further awareness. In 2006, the news beauty industry erupted when Spain and France banned overly thin models from the fashion runway.
In response, Dove created a short film called Evolution, which showcased a real woman transformed into a model, showing and promoting further awareness of how unrealistic the beauty industry can be. In the same year, Dove established the Dove Self-Esteem Fund, which was created to change and inspire girls and women by educating them about a wider definition of beauty. Continuing the effort, in 2007, Dove launched the third phase of the campaign for Real Beauty, Beauty Comes of Age. The campaign featured women over 50 with wrinkles, spots and grey hairs. In 2010, Dove created the Dove Movement for Self-Esteem. It provided women with the opportunity to mentor the next generation and to celebrate real beauty. In the same year, Dove also introduced the Self-Esteem Building Educational Programme to inspire and motivate girls around the world. Dove released its findings of the largest global study on women's relationship with beauty in 2011, The Real Truth of Beauty Revisited. The study showed interesting facts. 4% of women around the world considered themselves beautiful. In an increased attempt to make women feel beautiful and less pressured from their 2011 study, a short film in 2013 called Sketches was released. This social experiment aimed to show women that they were all more beautiful than they think by comparing their self-description, which was drawn by a forensic artist whom did not get the opportunity to see each woman, to those descriptions of strangers. The two sketches were then compared and interestingly found that the strangers' descriptions of each of the women were much more satisfying and accurate. The short film went viral. Within a week, more than 15 million people viewed the video, and to date it has over 66 million views.
Sphere is here to talk to us today about her opinion on how we used different media throughout the campaign. So shall we start with billboards?
So your campaign placed billboard ads in major cities all around the world, challenging women's notion of beauty and encouraging them to cast their votes online. One of the main ones was the billboard that was located in New York in Times Square, which highlighted and kept a running alley of the votes submitted for the wrinkled and wonderful ad. I think this was very successful. They reached a large audience by advertising in New York Times Square. So I think billboards were definitely the right direction they were taking. You guys were taking.
What about magazine usage?
So Dove also used magazines such as Flair, which is the #1 fashion and beauty magazine in Canada, to promote your campaign. The advert appeared on Flair's 25th anniversary issue, and the magazine targets women of all ages and income, which is where the Dove aims to target as well. So also another successful method.
Okay, what did you make of our print, online and TV advertising?
So in 2004, Dove released an interactive campaign, and it was online and in print media as well, which asked viewers to judge the women's look, so it's the wrinkled and wonderful, or 44 and a half, 44 and not, and invited them to cast their votes online on their website. So it was very interactive. They interacted with the audience very well, and the Real Women led to a 700% rise in sales for Dove. The Real theme had proven its worth and was later extended to TV ads as well.
So how do you think we did on social media?
Well, Dove's most powerful media platform is definitely social media. So the beauty sketch viral video topped Cannes' YouTube ads leaderboard and won the Titanium Grand Prix as well at the Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity. And in May 2015 as well, Dove teamed up with Twitter during the week leading up to the Oscars and released a commercial that turned self-hating tweets into encouraging tweets, and they named the campaign Speak Beautiful. That was proven successful, as seen previously, since the audience is able to easily share the videos and posts, for example, the beauty sketch video, and interact with the brand by giving a tagline which directs them to the website where they can vote and discuss real beauty issues. However, the brand decided to still promote their campaign on traditional platforms, for example, print media and TV, like we talked about earlier. So that way they can target the older audience, so 15 plus, which won't necessarily be active on social media. So I think a combination of all these different platforms has allowed Dove to reach the wide audience.
We'll now be discussing a number of Dove's competitors. Today the beauty industry is extremely saturated with a product for pretty much any beauty problem you can think of. Therefore, it's more important than ever that Dove differentiates #1 face care brand, owned by Unilever, and primarily target those with sensitive skin. Its most successful creative campaigns include City Living and Kind is Simple. These adverts have had the backing of a number of high-profile individuals. Fitness expert Anna Reich, dietitian Fiona Hunter, and psychologist Dr. Christiana Bundy have all had an impact. Having such experts involved mean that Simple can create a message which is coherent and honest without making outlandish claims. They've had the backing of these experts who know what they're talking about in order to create campaigns which are honest and work. Simple's target audience is females aged 16 to 25. They have a lower income, often students, care about organic problems and about being environmentally friendly. They use their City Living campaign to overthrow the perception that sensitive skin only happens to a select few. The campaign highlights all the aspects of everyday life that can affect your skin badly. It uses urban living scenarios to communicate this to those who live in the city. Perhaps due to their pure and natural vibe, they have previously not been associated with city modern women. Another campaign, Kind is Simple, reflects their brand identity, how it is kind to your skin, and focuses on kindness to those around us. Next, we'll be discussing Nivea. Nivea is another competitor owned by Beiersdorf. Their target audience is those aged 18 to 35, so a little bit older than that of Simple. They also have a higher income and are family focused. Nivea are all about innovative, high quality products and are big on creating trust with their customers. Currently, Nivea are focusing on a 100 Years of History campaign, as well as having famous campaigns such as Nivea Girls and Nivea Boys, where they use members of the public within their campaigns. Nivea have recently made the news with the Nivea doll. It's basically a doll made out of UV sensitive material, which turned red when exposed to the sun without sunscreen, which was available to children this summer and was made to stress the importance of good skincare in the sun. This again focused on the family values, keeping in line with their brand values. Nivea have been equally as creative in the past by using a magazine advert which has a solar panel in order to charge phones, allowing those on the beach to use the magazine advertisement to charge their phones. Not only does this bridge the gap between digital and print, but it also appeals to the teenage members of the family who are most likely to be on their phones. Therefore, Nivea are not focusing on one segment of the family, but are focusing on the whole family. Another competitor is Olay. Olay are another big brand within the beauty industry, owned by P&G. Their creative campaigns have been done by Saatchi & Saatchi, have had brand ambassadors such as Kim Cattrall, Tandy Newton and most recently Katie Holmes. Their target market is the older woman, typically A or B class with a higher disposable income. Although Olay have been seen as a brand for the older woman in the past, the introduction recently of Olay Essentials, a cheaper, more affordable line, is in line with the younger target audience. Also using Katie Holmes as a brand ambassador, Olay are trying to reach that younger audience. From the brand performance comparison, we can see that Olay's brand value has declined by a significant amount over the past 10 years.
Much research has been done on Dove and how they use real women in their advertising campaigns, basically because they are the one that stands out due to their use of real women rather than using body image ideals. Basically, the academics are focused on how consumers are affected by this and how it impacts their buying habits. The majority of these reports use social comparison theory, as you can see on our screen. This was first developed by Festinger in 1954. Social comparison theory is based on the concept that humans continually compare throughout their lives and possess a need to compare themselves to most things that they see that relate to themselves. For example, women walking down the street see adverts and they probably subconsciously compare themselves to those even if they don't realise it. Women are likely to compare themselves by comparing their abilities, their opinions. So basically any interaction you have with any brand or any person, you often compare yourselves with them if you are in any way similar to them. So Dove have really tapped into this unique need and basically have gone against body image ideals so that people don't feel when they're comparing themselves to their campaign that they are completely different and they're not worthy of the product. Advertisers in this society use extremely thin models. Basically, research has shown that it doesn't change how consumers buy the product. It only changes how the brand is viewed. So Dove have uniquely used real women and how, even though this might not affect the amount of consumers that do buy the product and might not increase their sales, it increases brand image, so women more positively see the brand. Firstly, we're going to be looking at Kepler's brand identity prism. Which you can see on the screen. This was developed in 1986 and basically talks about brand identity, so the outward expression of Dove as a brand, including its personality, visuals and how it communicates with consumers. As you can see, there are 6 points of this. So now we'll be discussing the physique. This is a set of physical features which come to mind when consumers think of the brand. Obviously on the screen we can see the Dove logo. The font is both calming colours and quite fluid writing. The logo, as you can see as well, with soft colours. This is the same in all their packaging. The font and the colours are very soft, calming. The packaging alongside this is teardrop shape, which again is the same. The second thing we'll be discussing is the personality. So this is basically how the consumers see the brand. Other brands do use celebrity endorsement, so you can essentially compare the celebrity to the brand. However, Dove use real women. So we think the personality is real, it's luxurious, it's soft, it's gentle, it's inviting to the consumer because they're not intimidated by what Dove are using in their brand. Next is the culture. So Dove go against the beauty ideals which we see in the beauty industry for products similar to this. Their culture therefore goes against thin body image promoted in the media, and basically they've created a community of women which real women can compare themselves to and not feel intimidated. Researchers such as Song and Young have found that women tend to buy products which they can relate to more. So from research as well, we can see that women relate to the women in the Dove adverts. They aren't intimidated by them, so therefore they might be more likely to buy the product. This is something we feel that Dove have done really well. Next, we'll be discussing self-image. So this is how the brand portrays themselves in the media. So we think their image creates a sense of belonging for its consumers. There's a community of women who promote body confidence, and there's a whole movement of women. So through their campaign, which started in 2004, they've always used real women, and we feel like they've allowed other women in the community to get on board with this. Anyone can be part of the campaign. You feel like you're really part of something when you're buying into their products. Reflection, therefore, includes natural women, confident, happy, closeness, body confidence. Their whole community sense is reflected in all of its brand identity. As you can see, most things here do flow from one to the other quite easily. Which moves us on to relationship. So Dove have created this unique relationship where they have a closeness to their consumers. They've done this by going against the beauty image ideals. A lot of research has suggested that women do feel intimidated and do compare themselves to images in the media. Therefore, by using this, they're inspiring women to be themselves and have self-confidence. So women therefore have a favourable brand experience because they're not being subject to really thin ideals which make them feel really bad about themselves. So they're basically saying, be yourself, buy our brand, enhance the whole being real campaign. And that's basically Kepfra's brand identity prism. The next theory we will be discussing is Bill's 3 elements of branding, which was developed in 1997. This is extremely similar to Kepfra's brand identity prism. It also includes brand personality and brand relationships, as you can see on the screen. These are basically exactly the same. The brand personality, so it's an everyday brand. The campaign is always kept up to date. It includes real women, so it's accessible to all women out there in the world. The relationship, again, similarly, uses real women. It has a personal message, creates closeness and trust, and has a community feel, which we already discussed. The only difference is the brand skill. So this includes the well-being and self-confidence. It encourages women to love themselves and be happy in their own skin. So this is basically how the brand differentiates itself from its competitors.
Linking the campaign to Adorno's theory of persuader individuality. Persuader individuality basically translates to the illusion of choice. As advertisers use different images and slogans, different meanings are assumed for different products, despite the products essentially being the same. By differentiating products through images and different campaigns, we come to accept consuming such products will in turn separate us from the crowd, highlighting our special individuality. Linked to Adorno's theory of persuader individuality, Dove communicates directly to their consumers through their differentiating adverts, which gives the consumers the idea of them being different and individual.
So we're here today with Beth Reed, Dove's marketing executive, and Poppy Wilson, a beauty industry analyst. So what improvements do you think Dove could have made to make the campaign more successful?
Well, at the moment, the campaign doesn't actually aim towards men at all, so they're very much showing how women feel about body image, and statistics from Mintel show that 58% of men aged 18 to 24 and 63% of 25 to 34-year-olds report that they do actually use moisturising products for their face. So this shows that we probably could penetrate that market in the future.
I agree with Beth as well. They have stuck to marketing to one set of women, whereas there has been a lot of research into this. It does show that women it does have a positive brand impact on how people view the brand. However, there's a greater amount of research suggesting that women aren't actually affected by different body shapes. So they might not be more likely to buy the product, and they might not actually have an opinion after seeing a 30-second commercial. I think it's something they need to tap into at a much younger age so that we can get over this decades of being exposed to extremely thin models. They need to do it from a much younger age group.
Thank you.